shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I've kind of lost track myself. But Ian, this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you?
Shut the fuck up, okay? Shut the fuck up!
Again, welcome to Rod Uncensored Podcast. I'm your host, Rod Uncensored. I got a special guest, your hero, Super Tim.
Super,
my fault. How you doing today, man?
I'm chilling. It's WrestleMania night.
Oh shit! You watch wrestling?
Who doesn't watch wrestling? There's 63,000 people at Allegiant Stadium and millions and millions across the world that love wrestling. So,
yeah, I've been watching since like the golden years, man. The Attitude Era. That's my favorite era, man.
Wrestling now is better than it's always been.
You think so?
I know so.
I just think the personalities on the mic is a little cringy for me nowadays. It's not like how it used to be.
When was the last time you watched it?
Last time I watched it, I think it was the Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Or no, I lied. It was the Uso brothers. Wherever WrestleMania, I think that was last year, right? The Usos versus, I think The Rock was on that card a little bit, and I think Roman Reigns was on that thing. But
that was last year. WrestleMania.
I just think the mic skills, like I said, that we remember some people from back in the days, the early 2000s, had a mouthpiece. You know what I mean? And I think that sold the story more because people have personality a little bit better. You know what I mean? It was able to project it a little bit better. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I can agree with you too, and I can agree with you on that part. You don't have as much character and personality and charisma like you had with the people back in the day. But it's still something there. It's still just as entertaining, just in a kind of different way. It's not as much fakeness. I mean, we all know it's not 100% real. But with social media and with people knowing that it's not real, you don't need like these fake personalities. You don't need people from parts unknown and people who are dead coming back to life. You just have regular people.
That shit was good, man, when they buried fucking Undertaker, man.
Yeah, it was good, man. But at some point you can't be so disrespectful to the fans and actually want us to believe that it's actually real. We understand it's characters and all that type of stuff as well, but we also know it's not. It's entertainment, but don't disrespect me by giving me something that I know it's not real right in front of my face. Like, to an extent, it's still good, but to an extent, it's okay to scale back from there because, again, us as fans, we know he's not real. He's not really dead, so don't like tell us he's dead. Give us some characters that we can believe.
What about the legendary? I say the legendary, diverse. You know what I mean? Superstars. You had like a Eddie Guerrero, a Cholo. You had just the ultimate, just like I said, superstars everywhere, man, and also the legendary pranks. I think was like them pranks were crazy funny. You know what I mean? I remember when Eddie Guerrero poisoned the fucking Big Show. He's shitting his guts out. You know what I mean? It was humor in that. I think that just overall, like I said, the stories, and the pranks, and just overall the superstars from, you know what I mean, Chris Jericho all the way up to Edge, and you know what I mean. Tag teams were better. The Divas were better. That's my opinion.
The Divas were better. They didn't have any Divas. The Divas only there to show their titties.
You know what I mean?
And now you got women wrestlers now that's beautiful and can wrestle.
Yeah, you right, doggy. You right on. I just don't like the girl. What's the new girl name? The black woman. She fucks people up with her ponytail. Come
That's
on, man.
Bianca Belair. Yeah, she been around for a minute. Bianca Belair. Everybody love Bianca Belair.
I like the other girl from AEW. What's her name? Oh,
I
fuck.
watch AEW. I
What's
try to
the
watch
chick?
AEW.
What's that chick name? I mean, this girl built. She got like silver hair. I forgot her name.
Oh,
But
she's in WWE now. Her name is Jade Cargill.
yeah,
She's been in
she was like
WWE
that.
for she's been in WWE for about 2 years now.
But yeah, man. But how you get into this content creating, man?
I got into radio and TV production back in 2006. Content creating is just some new stuff that us
Mhm.
old folks who've been doing it way before it was called content creating kind of got wrapped up in. So I can call it content creation. I'm a TV and radio producer.
Okay.
So
So how long you been doing that, man?
I've been doing TV and radio since 2006. Um, just because I just wanted to kind of represent. I wanted to be a sports reporter. I wanted to get into communications and do sports reporting, but I didn't want to go back to college. I was 25, and I was damned to be going back to college to major communications to get a job. So I figured if I can produce my own shows and show what I can do through my own shows, then I could hopefully get a job based on that. And then it kind of just spiraled from there. Started off as talking about basketball and then turned into hip hop and turned into comedy and turned into a bunch of other stuff. So everything once I kind of learned more about TV, it just kind of spiraled from there. Like all these ideas to do different shows. Then I always loved music and I always wanted to do radio. So once I got an opportunity to do radio online and then got an opportunity to do FM radio, and then I have my platform is an online radio station. So most people call it podcast. I don't call it podcast because I don't do podcasts. Some of it's podcast, but most of what I do is pretty much talk radio. It's not even talk radio because I still have music. So kind of if you can, my shows are pretty much like morning talk show, morning radio where you have music and conversation. Um, so that's kind of my main thing. But I'll do interviews and do podcasts and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up on the radio, man. I remember what's that? Time Joiner, As the World Turns. You remember that? You know, what I mean, I grew up on that, so I
That
feel
was
like that was. I remember listening to that in the morning. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I always love radio, man. I don't listen to radio as much, because they play the same music over and over again.
yeah, that's what I always done.
Yeah,
That's how
that's always since the beginning of the time. I like even if I do go listen to music, I listen to the oldie but goodie channel. I feel like they space that shit out a little bit different than current music. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I see you got
art to good radio.
What you say?
It's an art to good radio, kind of
It
balance
is.
good conversation with good music. And I kind of mix old school and new school. I'm 45, so there ain't so much new music I can enjoy. And then my audience is pretty much my age, but I love music, so I don't kind of just stick to one like era or genre. Like if it sounds good and if I like it, I like it. If it sounds good, then I'm gonna listen to it. If I think it sounds good enough for other people to enjoy it, then I'll play it. It don't make a difference. Industry music, independent music. If it sounds good and I like it, then I'm assuming other people like it as well. If you know good music,
Yeah,
everybody knows good music.
I think that's a good point. Like I like to spread my stuff and like I got my shit separated on my phone. I listen to a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? I grew up in I'm from the DMV area, but I grew up in down south, so I learned how to because we got music appreciation and it made you listen to different shit. You know what I mean? Sometimes I can listen to rock, sometimes I can listen to country music and it takes me somewhere different. So I like to listen to a little bit of everything, man. I feel like you can't listen to shoot 'em up every day. I feel like you need a break from that. And you know what I mean? I can listen to shit before my time, like Fred Astaire or just jazz. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I feel like music can help you with, you know what I mean, creativity if you listen to it properly.
Yeah, that's part of music that I appreciate the most. It's creativity, um, the lyrical creativity, the productive creativity, um, so that you can get that. You can sense who's a good artist, regardless of the genre, based on how creative they are. It's not just who can sing, but who can rap. I mean, anybody can write some raps, and you can just record the shit. And even if those for rappers, it's like, are you creative with your words, or you just saying shit that rhymes? And half the time, it don't even rhyme. They making words into new words just to make them rhyme with other words. Um, well, yeah, the creativity aspect, and can you be an artist? That's what I appreciate the most.
And that's why I'm at right now. I do stand-up comedy. I've been doing that shit for like a year now. And I feel like it's easier from writing from your life, you know what I mean, than trying to come up with a made up story. That's why
Mm.
I like it. To try to find the humor about your real life or um the real accounts you had, you know what I mean? And that's
Everybody's
why
life is not funny though. Everybody's life
but
is not funny, and everybody's life can't find some funny in it because everybody doesn't have. There's a lot of people just go to work, come home, go back to work, come home. I think the best comedians are the ones that can understand the world around them and
yeah.
then make find the funny in a variety of situations. Even if it's not their life, it can be somebody else's life, and they can understand somebody else's journey, somebody else's story, and
Mhm.
find the funny in that without disrespecting it, because like I say, you understand that person, that lifestyle, that culture, whatever the case may be. Anybody can do a white person do this and black people do that.
Yeah.
That's kind of played out. But if you can
People love it still. People love that shit still.
yeah,
But
aren't people that don't know the craft, the
mm,
artistry, the creativity in telling a joke, the intelligence that it takes to make a joke what it is, even from something that you don't even know is funny until they say it and make it funny. So you can walk down the street and you can see 10 different things, and it's just 10 things. But a comedian can walk down the street and see 10 different things and have 10 different jokes off of what the same stuff that you just saw.
mm, that's facts on that, man.
Because the creativity of it, the like I said, that the comedic intelligence of it. Everybody can't find everything funny because they don't understand it. And everybody can't make something funny unless you understand what it is to be able to remix it into something funny.
Yeah, you know. Like I said, I feel like I like where it stands at because there's some dope comedians out here I like to watch. Like Ryan Davis, I think he's a great
Mhm,
comedian, and he used a lot of stuff from his personal life, and he's a gifted writer, man. And I
mhm,
like some edgy people like Andrew Schultz, and um,
mhm.
so you know what I mean. But my favorite, man. So musically, man, since you say you love music, um, do you think the Not Like Us is a top five diss track of all time, or a top diss track?
Me personally, um, I would say the top five diss track. I mean, most diss tracks don't even make it to radio.
Hmm.
But for it to not only make it to radio, make it to mainstream, win awards, be on the Super Bowl halftime show, um, I think that's helped it. But a diss track is only as good as the rivalry. Um, how real is the rivalry? Is the rivalry like a real rivalry? Like if you go into a boxing match and you beat a nigga ass in the first round, you can't say that that's a real rivalry. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? When y'all
that's
spit something and then he come back and then I gotta step it up and I gotta spit something else. A diss track is only as good as the if it's a response to it gotta be a response to something that a dope diss track and be able to step it up and come back. So it was kind of a one-sided slaughter. And the song in itself is dope, but as far as like the diss track, yeah, he has a couple spots in there that's like, oh shit, he said what he said, but this the diss tracks ain't like they used to be because diss tracks back in the day was actually based on the fact I really don't like you, and if I see you in the street, like we might really fucking fight.
Yeah, that's why I can't put it up like hit 'em up or um checkmate Jadakiss.
Mm.
Like what's that? Back Down by 50, No Vaseline. It's a lot of great diss tracks, you know what I mean? To put that up with that. I mean, this overall I know it had commercial success, but this with wordplay and this aggression, I didn't feel like it was there. Like those ones I said.
It was made to get numbers as opposed to being made to actually diss somebody. So it's a Kumo when Kumo D and LL Cool J.
Oh yeah, that was oh yeah.
I want to say the song was called Funky Wisdom.
Yeah.
The Funky Wisdom was another song, and he just went crazy on LL Cool J. And not only was he just like laying out disses on, and he was just laying out disses, but verbally and lyrically. Kumo D is one of the most underrated lyricists. Um, he's one of the smartest lyricists. He used like the biggest words. He's one of the few people that constantly gives you like 4-verse songs. It's artists that's just working hard to get 3, and he done banged out 4 and about 3 or 4 songs on this album. And the words that he's using is you got to go to the dictionary to figure out what he's talking about because his vocabulary is just that deep, and it makes sense what he's talking about if you got the vocabulary to understand it. Um, but yeah, diss tracks back in the day was based on real life shit, real life beefs, and the whole purpose was to make you look bad and end your career. It wasn't even about making money. I just want to slaughter you and make people not fuck with you and end your career. That's what it was all about.
And that's why I can't say it's like a top one because it really didn't destroy his career or the motherfuckers just put that Nokia joint out and that shit went crazy. You know what I mean?
Because people was waiting for a comeback. And the thing about music nowadays or streaming nowadays, you can get you can get a million streams, but that don't mean that everybody that listened to it liked it. You can listen to it for 5 seconds and it counts as a stream. I give most songs a 30-second window. And if you don't grab me in 30 seconds, I'm not listening to it. And even though I don't like the song, that 30 seconds counted as a stream. So if you got 500,000 people that didn't like it and they turned it off after the first 30 seconds, and then the other half probably gave it, then a fourth of them probably gave you a verse, and then the rest of them probably was like, "Yes, all right." But you can't really gauge whether a song is good by streams or by numbers because all of that is just based on how long did you listen to it long enough for it to count as a stream.
Yeah. I feel like with that situation, the backing of women fans, you can never go wrong and they ain't gonna never leave you. Women fans. You look at Chris Brown, that stuff that happened with Rihanna, the women still support him. When you have women that support men, we just switch with the fad, you know what I mean? But
But
women, you have women fan base, you want to hold you down, you know?
the women still support Chris Brown because they want to fuck Chris Brown.
Exactly.
That's all it is. Now, if he whatever happened with him and Rihanna, in their mind, it's like, girl, that's you. I
That's
fuck him. I
exactly,
take him.
exactly.
He ain't gonna do that to me because I'm gonna do something different because you know what I'm saying? That's how females think. If you a guy who's attractive and females think is sexy, you can be an abuser, and all they gonna say is that, oh, that ain't gonna be me.
That ain't gonna be me. That's facts right there, man.
Because he
That's
too sick to the pass up and whatever you did to fuck it up. And we men do the same thing because when you look at Halle Berry or J Lo or somebody like that that have been in multiple relationships, the first thing we think is like, nigga, what did you do to fuck that up? I wouldn't do whatever the fuck you did. You stupid because I wouldn't have fucked that up. Because that's so and so. That's J Lo. That's Halle Berry. The whole time because that's who we're attracted to. We look at the other person as an issue because all we see is the person we're attracted to that does no wrong because we want to fuck so bad they can do no wrong.
and that's definitely is real, man. Cause countless times motherfuckers told me, Rod, don't jump on the bait. Don't believe the hype. You know what I mean? But you gotta learn for yourself, man. And that shit, we don't listen. What your parents used to say, a hard head make a soft behind. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that is real, man. Let's get into this topic, man. The title, man. Do you feel like men are intimidated by women that make more than them?
No, nobody intimidated.
I don't care.
Nobody intimidated. I think we as men, we we come across women who make good money, and they feel like because they make good money or possibly make more than us, we're intimidated by that. I wouldn't say intimidated. We just like she just come off as aggressive, and I think the aggressive, like I can do what I want, I'm irreplaceable attitude that could be intimidating, but it's definitely a fucking turn off. Um, because we're not used to. I think we're more used to it now than we were back in the day because it's kind of like everywhere. But I think it was it was new.
Mm.
So it's like if you get like I said, if you about to get in a fight, if you can fight, you really ain't scared of nobody. But if a nigga slap the shit out you and you ain't really ready for it, it will kind of like shock you a little bit. But then you be like, all right, now I gotta beat this nigga ass. So it's not that you scared of the fight or you scared of the person. It was just kind of you caught you off guard. And I think this new attitude with females being so aggressive and oh, I want what I want, I'm gonna get what I want because I got money. It's that was kind of like the slap in the face that shocked us. And or if you come across a female like that and you're not expecting that, that can come off as a little bit intimidating until we kind of be like, okay, now I know how to deal with her because I see what she coming with. And you even going, and then most dudes can deal with it, but then the attitude that comes with it is the reason why females who make money don't get men because at the end of the day, I'm still a man, and regardless how much money you make, you're not going to disrespect me as a man. And there's times where a female standing up for herself can come off real disrespectful.
Yeah, I feel like it's you know what I mean. It's not a problem, as long as it, like you said, it's some respect and you're not being diminishing the man by how much he make less. You know what I mean, and telling your family, oh, this nigga's only an $18 ass nigga. You know what I mean? And your family, oh, that's the $18 ass nigga. You know what I mean? What's up, Boom?
What's up,
Um,
bro? What's up with
I'm,
y'all?
I'm gonna break you in. The question for tonight is: Do men feel intimidated by women who earn more money than them?
So I've been asked this question. Well, I've been asked this question. I've heard this question before. Um, I can see why men would be intimidated because it would play on their manhood, but they don't really understand how to deal with manhood, and I think that they looking at their manhood from a monetary level, and I think that that would make you less than a man, more than worried about how much you make. Because if you, and it's gonna sound cliche, right? But if you secure in yourself, man, you know what you can do. You know what I'm saying? Most times she make more, she gonna take care of you. And what's the problem with that? Like, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna secure her like a man's supposed to, you're gonna protect her like a man's supposed to. Something happened downstairs, you're gonna be the first person up. Something happens to the car, you're gonna make sure it's right. Like, so I don't think that her making more money is the end all be all, right? It's like shit, you might have a higher education than me. So at this point, now all of a sudden, am I only looking for a dumb female? Because nigga, the highest I can become is a fucking garbage man. And she a fucking lawyer, so I can't get a lawyer because I'm not educated enough to get a lawyer. That means you less of a man, regardless of anybody having to tell you, because you don't even feel secure in yourself to be able to deal with a woman that makes money. Because what? She throwing it in your face? Shit, all right. Hey, listen, before I know I just came and made a rant, but I will say this. I've never been a guy to take the credit card if we out to eat. You can definitely hand them your credit card. You don't got to slide it under the table from me. Just saying that. You can pay.
You know what I
I
mean?
ain't got a problem with it. I feel good. I
Man,
feel
man,
accomplished.
treat me. That's what I mean. That's what,
Like, what the fuck?
I
Sound
don't
like
got
some
no
king shit.
problems. I don't got no problems with you want to pick up the check, man. But I have like, as long as you don't have that alpha China off of WWE kind of raw to you and disrespect me, we all good. Like I feel like I have a certain place in my life where when I moved out, where I moved out of, you know what I mean, the urban environment, the hood, projects, whatever, low income. And I realized you want some women with some kind of self-respect and some kind of education base because they make better decisions. They make better decisions and they're gonna make sure that paperwork or whatever, if you have shortcomings with bills and this woman's better than you, you know what I mean? I feel like you gotta have somebody to help you in your shortcomings. You need to find that person going to help you in your shortcomings. So if she's good with that paperwork, let her be that, you know what I mean, good with that paperwork. But people don't look like that. We want to look at the biggest ass. Nah, I'm good. I know what that. I know what that. I know what that gets you. That 18 years, and that motherfucker go quit her job. You know what I mean? So you gotta think smarter, man. I feel like.
No, for sure. You definitely gotta think smarter out here before you start to think that you can handle everything. I think that that's what traditionally and economically it used to be like that, right? It used to be like we go to work, we can afford certain things. Well, men can afford certain things, but now it's like I just asked this question on my show too. Like, is it should you do you feel like you should have a traditional woman or a blue collar woman? And in today's economy, I think a blue collar woman is, cool. Eggs being $20. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if it's normal rates, like man can take care of everything because his job, does that, then hey, she don't have to work. But right now in today's economy, I think that even if we pay all the bills, I think that the woman should at least work so she can be able to pay her nails herself. Like, and that's only if, like, you know what I'm saying? If I make enough to where I can get your nails done too, that's cool as well. If you're my full woman, but for the most part, if I'm gonna pay all the bills, like you can go get your nails done. Like, why you can't pay for the dinner? Why not? Like, I'm paying like 6,000, and all you got to pay is like 2,000 a month on us or yourself. You know what I'm saying? What's the issue with that?
Yeah, I feel like you should be able to. You should work. I feel like women should work too, man, because you never know. You get fucking sick. You are both down and out. You know what I mean? Even James off of Good Times died. You know what I mean? So we all gotta be, you all gotta put something in the pot, man, because you never know what can happen.
But at the same time, that do mean we gotta come home sometimes, nigga, and throw loads of laundry in the washer. You
There's
know what I'm
nothing wrong
saying?
with that,
Oh, snap.
What'd he say? What's that?
John Cena is your WWE champion for the 17th time, breaking Ric Flair's long-time record as he finishes out his career.
That's happening right now.
That is happening right now. Cody Rhodes is no longer your champion. John Cena is the
Damn.
17th time
Fake Tony Yo-Yo. Fake Tony Yayo won again. God damn. Damn.
That's
Damn.
wild. I ain't been watching wrestling in a minute either, but I did see that he turned heel or something. That was like major. I'm like, well, he should have been turned heel.
He didn't turn heel. No, he didn't turn heel.
So it was all a fake?
No. He's not a heel. He's not a face. He's just John Cena.
I don't get that because it's like you turn your back on somebody after acting like you they homie or being cool with them, then you backstab them for the Rock, which is the enemy of everybody. So it seems like
he did what he needed to do to become the 17-time champion and break the record. It ain't about friends. It ain't about being a good guy, bad guy. It's about doing what needs to be done. And people didn't like that he did what it was best for him and not what's best for the people, which that's what he's been doing for the last 20 years. The people ain't did nothing but disrespect him. You got people out here, John Cena sucks and all that type of stuff, and all that John Cena do, and you still just come out every time he shows his face and it's John Cena sucks. Like, so it's like, why should I do it for y'all anymore? I'm doing it for me. You retiring, this is last year. So why should I do it for y'all when all y'all gonna do is keep disrespecting me and saying I suck? So I'm gonna do it for me.
Good for him, man. Good for him, man. Great for him, man. I like I said, I told him in the beginning, I haven't watched that shit probably like a year time. My man was jumping me on, man, you gotta check this out, man. The bloodline. I'm like, I'm gonna check this shit out, man. I'll check this shit out.
No, you know what? I'll be playing the game, obviously. And I got the WWE. And that game it's actually doper than what I thought it would be. I done bought them a couple times throughout the franchise, but this one is actually a little bit dope. But I will say that I was a super WWE fan, Stone Cold. I think it was the Attitude Era. That was like it after Attitude Era.
That's exactly what I just told that brother in the beginning. I said, man, the Attitude Era for me is like
that's the era, like that we got suspended for. You know what I'm saying? Like what they get suspended for nowadays. Like, the only thing I will say though, bro, I've been watching some clips of some old ass WWE shit, and that dude Viscera. Oh man, what the fuck was he on, bro? Bro, he hit one of his you know who Viscera is? You remember Viscera, don't you? The big dude with the mohawk, blonde hair, mohawk, big fat dude. Used to be, he kind of, I think he was with the Ministry or something with the Undertaker and them at one point in time. Bro, one of his finishing moves, bro, was you laying on your stomach, bro, and he's on top of you, licking your face or some crazy ass shit. What type of finishing move is that? Rikishi putting his whole ass in your face.
Yeah,
what are we teaching the children here, bro?
That shit true.
That's why they kind of switch shit up, because like you were saying before, it was more edgier and stuff like that, which was fine. That's what made the Attitude Era what it was. But it's a business, and if you look at movie ticket sales, which movies are the highest grossing movies every year?
The action.
Nah, it's not.
It's with the fight. Which one?
Children's. Anything for children.
Yeah.
Because if you gonna get your children, and you got to take your children, they're gonna want to go 2-3 times. So if you cater to families, the children's movies make the most money, because if you take a child to the movie, you also have to pay for a ticket.
No, facts.
If I go to the movies, I'm just going to get my one ticket. If I got to take 2 kids and myself, that's an extra ticket. So if you cater to families, if you catering to families, one, you're going to sell more tickets because now parents have to take children. You as a parent go by yourself, but now I got to take my 2 kids because they love it, because it's something that
2 extra tickets. And I get 2 extra tickets in the price of one, so now I got 2. Yep, I get that.
Yeah, so they're getting that extra money because now we have families coming as opposed to just a bunch of drunk dudes.
But I mean, okay, we could take out the stink face. We could take out the stink face. We could take out the.
But kids like the stink face. You know, kids like anything.
No, because Val Venus was too much too, though. Val Venus was too much. The whole
Val Venus too much. You got the porn star, you got pimps and stuff like that. That's why I was saying earlier that a lot of the characters is kind of not the same, because some of the characters like those were too much for kids, and
I still think it's too scripted though, right? It don't seem like they free. It seems like it's very scripted, and then they have to make a joke off of the script, and the script is that fucking corny that the joke that they gonna make is corny too. And I think that it's not. It's like go be free, but you still got to be PG with it. You know what I'm saying? I think
everybody can't be free. Like if you a rapper, some rappers can write, some rappers can freestyle, and if you can't rap but you can perform, then you get somebody to write your raps and you just perform the rap, and then
so you saying
everybody
they can't act but they can wrestle, and
you
so
got
therefore somebody gonna work.
they can get in the ring, they can do all the moves, but some people don't have the charisma or them saying
Everybody had it though in the Attitude Era. They just used it wrong.
everybody ain't have it. You had some that had it, which is why you have the Stone Colds and the Rocks that can go out there and cut a promo off the top.
We remember Val Venus. We remember Viscera. We remember Vader. We remember the Hawk.
Remember them is we remember
Razor Ramon.
Razor
That nigga Razor Ramon was crazy.
We don't remember. We remember Viscera because he was what? He was the big fat guy that sat on people. Not because he went out there and said some shit that made you remember him outside of him being his physical attributes. What else was he?
That's true.
Eddie Guerrero was entertaining. The Rock was entertaining. Stone Cold was entertaining. Stone Cold, which kids came out there and cut a promo and got out the ring real fast because he can always come out there and cut a promo because just like a person that freestyles, he's going to always be able to freestyle and say some dope shit even off the top of his head. Some people have that ability to do that. Some people can learn how to do that from being in a business a long time, and some people just never get it.
So what you're saying is if we go off just performance alone, then people like Viscera, Big Show, these are going to be our champions forever, almost. If we just going off performance and the show it's not about entertainment, it's about actual wrestling.
If you go off of actual wrestling, yeah, it's going to be a lot of people who get titles and things of that nature because they can do things in the ring that others can't. But because it's entertainment,
you're gonna get your John Cena's, your Ray.
But
you know those matches that what's dude's name from the bloodline that always save Roman Reigns. You're like, damn, he's gonna lose this one. Then here come dude save him, and Roman Reigns end up winning. You're like, damn, we were supposed to lose, and it's just every other week. Damn, he's supposed to lose, and they helping, and it's like it gotta be scripted at this point. Like, and that's my only problem. Like, because with Stone Cold now, you might get beat up at the limo, bro. Like. And backstage, you get slammed through the windshield, bro. Like you getting a beer splashed on you everywhere, all that shit. Like that's
still stuff like that, and everything is always scripted because scripted content is always better than random content, which is why reality TV isn't just reality TV, which is why movies and TV is scripted. Yeah. The only thing that's live is sports. It ain't too much entertainment outside of sports that's live because Triple H said it.
And that shit ain't even live now that we got sports betting. But go ahead, Triple H. What?
Triple H said a couple years ago. He was like, you can go to an NFL game and it can be 7-3. You can go to an NBA game, it can be 80-something to 70, 90-something. You never know what you're going to get from a sports event. But with wrestling, you can always guarantee entertainment because we script it to be entertaining.
Would you unfollow a wrestler if he uses his position to bring attention to social justice?
No, I'm gonna separate entertainment and social. Sometimes, depending on what your whole move stance is, but most of the time I try and separate that shit. But if his move stance is just on some bullshit, like everybody shouldn't nobody work, everybody should be in FEMA camps, and no, I probably would. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if he just got his own personal views on something, everybody got their own views, bro. Like, that's just like me unfollowing Rod because, you know, he like fupas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Like,
there's nothing wrong with a big woman's belly, man.
Right. See what I'm saying? So, but no, before we get off of that subject, though, bro, I do want to ask you. I just want to say this, though, man. I think that I'm gonna get back to it because what you were just saying. I talked to one of my homies and he kind of explained it to me too. Like, you like Power, don't you? Watch Power and Power after the Power season 3 and all that. And I'm like, yeah. He like, nigga, what's the difference? Like, how you gonna? That's just that we looking at this the same way. Like, it's not even about it being real or fake no more. And then he was like, I really want to ask you a question though. Even with it being fake, can you go out there and do it? And I was like, you know what? You might got a point. Like it might be fake, but I don't think I can rub back and forth on the ring, get power bound from the top rope, power bound somebody from outside through a table. I don't think I'm ready for all that, even if it's fake. So you know, you got it.
But
like,
that's the part that's not fake. See, when people call it fake, they're talking about the characters are fake, and you know what I'm saying. Oh, you're really not hitting them, and you know what I'm saying. The story is fake.
I mean,
Yeah, all that is predetermined, but there's no way you can fake. You can make it hurt less. It's no different than stuntman. Wrestlers are just stuntmen. Stuntman, you're going to get on fire, but you're going to do certain things to protect them from the fire. There's no, and wrestling the same way. We're going to do these moves, but we're going to do them in a way that we're not going to kill each other and injure each other, but you're going to feel it. There's no way you're going to fall off of a 10-foot high rope turnbuckle onto the ground and it not hurt. We just know how to do it in a way where it doesn't break our back, but it hurt.
I think where it just hurt my feelings at was when I was a kid. I just always thought that like Stone Cold and The Rock, like if I was in a grocery store and both of them just walked in there, it's going. You're not telling me it's not, and to find out that they drinking beers after the match, it's like what? The fuck you mean, nigga? You telling me Undertaker not about to choke slam Booker T in the grocery aisle like at the gas station? That's what you're telling me?
Hey, yo,
old school, they knew better than to go out in public. Like they was always in character. Like Undertaker was like, before he retired, he would never go out in public without wearing black because that's what his character did. It's people back in the day that they wouldn't go grocery shopping. They'll send somebody else go grocery shopping because if I go grocery shopping, it's gonna be somebody that want to beat me up because I just kicked somebody's ass last night at the show. And people believe it to the point where they really want to fight me. And everyday life wasn't everyday life because you had to work the gimmick to the point where, like you said, people believed it was so true that when we found out that it wasn't real, we got mad. People left wrestling not because it wasn't good. They just got in their feelings over the fact that, oh, I found out it wasn't real. That's like finding out your mama's prostitute.
Man.
even though you living in a fly ass house and you got money like a motherfucker.
I was doing what to my mama?
Yeah, but you living the good life like a motherfucker. You living the good life, but when you find out that she's not a school teacher, she's sucking dick. Oh, fuck you, moms. Nah, I'm good. Keep this damn money.
And I ran into that motherfucker. I ran into the Big Show like 5 years ago. Yo, that motherfucker had no security. He had nobody. I asked him, like, yo, can I get a picture? I'm a fan from back in the day, man. That motherfucking hands were like fucking sledgehammers. I don't even want that motherfucker to plate smack me. You understand, in the chest. Like, them boys is some big guys, you know.
Oh, yeah,
for real. That's why I'm wondering, like, man, you know, somebody like the Big Show really should have held it down, like, for years. Like, Andre the Giant should have been the world's greatest champion, like, you know what I'm saying? So you can't tell me when Andre the Giant, when Hulk Hogan picked up Andre the Giant, he ain't jumped a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what they do. If you watch it close, you'll see every time they do some type of movie, I pick somebody up, they'll jump a little bit to help them out. You got some people that is strong enough to do it, but then you got some people they'll just to make it easy on them. Even though they're not
Mark Henry might have lifted him though. You know what I'm saying? Mark Henry might have taken him aside.
Yeah. Well, he's legitimately in real life like world's strongest dude. He's done stuff lifting weights that people like 3 other people in the history of the world have done. So like he's legitimately strong as a motherfucker.
When I seen him pull that Graham bus, I was like, yeah, that motherfucker's different. That was really him.
That's what he was known for. He told the story. So he was competing in the World's Strongest Man competitions, and before he started wrestling, but then he stopped wrestling. He was doing the strongman competition. Then he went to wrestle. Then somebody challenged him to a strongman competition. He was already done with it. He wrestled and all that good stuff. And he was like, Vince, somebody challenged me like to a strongman competition. Like, do I have permission to go do it? He was like, yeah, but if you lose, don't come back. Because there's no way I can promote you as the world's strongest man and you're not the world's strongest man. And he went out there with that extra pressure on him, not only to beat this guy, but to keep his damn job and actually continue competing to be the world's strongest man. So you got some people like Mark Henry who their real life shit crosses over into
Kurt Angle.
the story, Kurt Angle. And you have some people who
Entertainment.
they just don't have that charisma, or they can't play a character, and that's where the acting part come in. Because if you can't act to make people believe that you are what I say I am, then you're not going to be popular. Anybody that met Stone Cold Steve Austin, like, man, he's the nicest guy I ever met. But then you look at him in the ring, he drinking beers, throwing up middle fingers, kicking, stunning his balls. You believe that he was this bionic redneck because he can act good enough to make you believe it. You believe that The Rock was this asshole walking around with his Versace shirts on. You believe that The Undertaker and Kane was.
I thought The Rock was the flyest. He the greatest wrestler ever.
He's the same dude that'll give you 30,000. Like, he the same dude that'll donate to everybody and give money to everybody and just be the nicest guy. He did videos on his TikTok just driving down the street and just like, you see a tour bus full of people like in Hollywood, they do the Hollywood tours. He'll pull up on the Hollywood tour and just say what's up to everybody, be the nicest guy in the world, but then he come on here and he's calling everybody crackheads. Because that's his
I'm getting back to this trash ass city.
Yeah. Right after he took pictures with everybody that afternoon. You know what I'm saying? But that's the character. He makes, and you can meet him that afternoon and he'll take a picture with you, be nice as shit. And then as soon as he gets to the ring and he turn on his character, you can still believe that as well, because he has that ability. Everybody can't do that, which is why the great ones, if you think about all the ones that you love, you don't love them because of their moveset. You don't love them because they did a great match. You love them because of their character. You don't need to know, but a couple
the
of
people's
moves.
elbow was fake as fuck.
Say it again.
The people's elbow was fake as fuck.
Yeah, but you loved it because it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
That's the only. Yeah, you love the finishers
you
because
practice the eyebrow, man. Out of everybody, every wrestler, bro, we all did middle fingers before Stone Cold. Yeah. That eyebrow, nigga, everybody, teachers, grandmas, grandpas, everybody did the eyebrow.
You know what? Hey, Boom, you know another shit I seen niggas doing, man? The True wet hair shit with the water bottle.
I ain't seen nobody doing that, though. That's crazy.
I've seen another ass nigga do that before. Wet
That's
hair
wild.
and shit.
That's pause. Hold on. That's wild, though. They drinking water and spitting it out up in the air and then shaking everybody. That's crazy. But that was fire. I think it was the lights. I think it was just the lights, though. The lights. Triple H probably did have the rawest intro. That shit on the side of the ring. How the fuck you keep all that goddamn water, though? He already just spit half most of it out. Then he just spit up a whole bottle. Like, what the fuck, dog? Whatever.
He done drank half of it, poured the other half on his head, and kept half of it in his mouth till he spit some out at the entrance, then kept enough in his mouth to spit some out when he got to the ring. He just walking down the ring with a mouthful of water.
You know what I used to fuck with too? Ron Simmons. That nigga was funny as shit.
Yeah. But see, look at how you described him. You didn't say he was a great wrestler.
No, yeah,
because he was funny. But he was the first ever. He was an All-American football player at Florida State. He was the first black champion in WCW. But you don't know him for that. You know him because he's funny.
Yeah, he's funny as shit.
That's a part of the
Junkyard Dog.
Now let's reverse that because I'm pro-black sometimes.
I like milk in my coffee. Dr. Umar don't love me.
Well, when I play this WWE game, now that everybody get online, like when you get online with all these other random people and shit, like if anybody pick Hulk Hogan, it's an unwritten rule that you jump him. Jump him. Elimination Chamber, jump him. 6-man Hell in the Cell, jump him. 4-man fadeaway, jump him. Jump Hulk Hogan. That's the rule.
That's crazy.
That's the rule.
Yo, that shit did really hurt me when I saw that video, man. That shit hurt me, man.
And he was saying it passionately.
Man, I ripped my shirt because of that nigga, man.
You did his MMA. You did his emote one last time.
But you know, it hurt not because it was a white person saying it hurt because it was a guy that you looked at as a character doing something that his character doesn't do.
Yeah.
He's just a regular white boy that want his white daughter to marry a white person. Same way we want our black daughters to marry black dudes. If your daughter coming in with a white boy, you probably gonna say something similar.
No, it's gonna
But
be like,
because
all right.
you're not to say your prayers, eat your vitamins, guy. That's what made it hurtful, not because it was a white man that didn't want his.
All you gotta be been like, man, keep it in the family. Why you gotta go outside your race? Like, but to
You
say
know
like,
what? Whoever that black dude was, he probably wasn't like a straight up nigga. And as a black man, if that nigga came in my house, I probably would say the same thing. Oh, you ain't marrying that nigga. That nigga ain't worth marrying. My daughter's not marrying some piece of shit. And we can look at it and say, okay, he called him a nigger, but we don't know how much of a piece of shit that motherfucking dude was. And that same dude that Hulk Hogan didn't want fucking with his daughter, we probably wouldn't want him fucking with our daughters either.
so what you saying is it doesn't matter the race, whatever. So if it's a
If
Mexican
you
dude,
fuck that dude, if he's a fucked up black man, ain't no black person, Asian person, white person, Latino person gonna want him marrying their daughter.
but
Because it was a white person calling him a nigger and it's Hulk Hogan is why it caused so much uproar. But if we all know somebody we grew up with that we were like, yeah, I would never want him marry my daughter.
But why derogatory though? Like if my son come in here with a female that's dressed like a female, like a hoe, a slut, I'm not gonna walk up to him and be like, man, that bitch a slut, nigga. She a hoe. I might just be like, bro, look how she dressed like.
If you know she a slut, if you seen that same chick hollering at some other nigga in the hood, now she walked through your door with your son, you be like, look, son, I seen that chick with 3-4 other niggas.
I'm an energy dude. I'm an energy dude though. I'm gonna say it just like that, but I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna use the hoe or the slut. I'm gonna be like, nigga, she been with all these females. Like, why? I mean, all these dudes. Like, why are you trying to wife that? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna be like, why are you trying to wife that bitch? That bitch a hoe. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying as far as his situation. Like, all right, he's not part of our race. Why is you messing with him? Or he ain't shit. Like, I don't. If he's sitting here just talking about a black man and it's not even in the black term, it's just like he's talking about another man and he happens to be black. I'm all for it. That nigga ain't shit. But if you sitting here just pretty much subjecting this man to a race and then calling him saying he ain't shit, that's the problem. I don't think that. No, I feel you on the line of niggas being mad, almost like this Austin versus Carmelo situation with the high school and everybody trying to make it black versus white when a person actually lost their child. At the end of the day, I feel you on the. We do that. If it's a different race and it's a problem, we try and make it racial. That's too much. We doing that too fucking much. But when a motherfucker is actually doing the racist shit, you gotta call a spade, bro. And that man did not talk about a black man. I mean, a actual man. He talked about a black man, and it's simple. And we
don't know that black man to know whether Hulk Hogan's description of him was accurate.
Don't give you no right to call him no nigger.
Look, if he a nigga, he a nigga. Like you said, call a spade a spade. If you're a nigga, he a fucking nigga. And we all know regardless of we black or white, we know the difference between a nigga and a nigger.
Even if he would have said that, I'd be like, maybe Hulk Hogan been around Booker T and all them a lot.
Yeah.
You
can go through and talk to a lot of black people he worked with, and they will tell you they were surprised because he doesn't act like that with them, because there's a difference between being like you could be racist. Racist is me, I just don't like your race. I don't care about you. I don't like your race. But if I don't like that one particular black person because he comes off as a nigger and you think about dating my daughter, then that's the issue is.
That's what they always did anyways, though. It was like the darker you was, the more nigger you was. So it's like they always subjected us to how light we was anyway.
But
so
only thing I didn't like about it, if that nigga was a cashew, he wouldn't have said that.
If he was what?
A cashew. If he had a comical on, he wouldn't have said that. He been canceled.
Hulk Hogan.
He said that because he didn't think that he was being recorded. Yeah. Which most of us do. Is certain things we say in the privacy of our home that we don't say in public. But we definitely don't say if we being recorded and we in the public eye. Yeah. Go ahead. He probably said that. He probably said it about some other people. We don't know.
I'm sure he did. But look, Jason Williams, I think White Chocolate, the basketball player. He said on the podcast, talking to a whole bunch of black people. He like, and this nigga, I mean, oh, my bad, y'all, but he live. He's off camera. He nigga. All them basketball players can care less about what you're talking about, but because he live, motherfucker, people gonna take it wrong, right? It's another white rapper right now that I'm conflicted with. Now with the whole Jason Williams shit, I get because he's not walking around acting like he's tough and come do something about it. So I get his stance.
He used it the same way we use it because
right,
that's what he grew up around black people, and that's how everybody talk. Simple. And he probably got the pass from his friends to talk like that, and that's just how
it just came out. So I'm not looking at him like, oh, he's just on some racist shit. I'm just looking at him like he comfortably being around what he being around. He with the movement, regardless if it's black or white. He with everybody is how I'm looking at it, right? Then there's another white boy named Jin Lee. He has a song out right now where he rapping, and he's a white boy. But what he's saying is he's saying nigga, and he like come do something about it if you don't like me saying it. And he got a whole bunch of niggas behind you dancing. I'm lost now. I'm conflicted now. Now I'm conflicted because the nigga like I'm saying nigga, come do something about it with a whole bunch of niggas behind you. I'm like, oh,
you said when you got some real niggas behind you, that's gonna hold you down. But I don't see what's the big deal about it. Like it's a word, and depending on if you use the word the way the word is meant to be used, then why not use it?
No, if you use it why it's meant to be used, I don't think you should use it. But I think that if you use it how the nigga without the ER on it,
the nigga, and we don't let white people say if that's my white friend and that's my nigga, I can say he my nigga, but he can't say that I'm his nigga.
The reason that we don't let white people say it is because most of them only saying it because they want to feel included, and they're not included in nothing.
How can't they be included?
It's not that they can't be included. It's the fact that you got some of the ones that would think they should get the pass, like Elon Musk. And I'm not saying money status, but we're just saying like an Elon Musk, South African white man, or a lot of just the white men from Montana, Idaho, who just feel like, okay, we should be able to say it, but don't even come downstairs to see what we're doing. Won't even care about what we're doing. As a matter of fact, will judge us because of what they see on TV, because that's what's promoted, and they're not promoting our doctors or our lawyers or our judges. They're promoting our Cardi B's, our little babies. You see what I'm saying? I say Cardi B, but she's Hispanic. Our Megan Thee Stallions, our little babies, our the babies. That's what they're promoting. So when they feel like they okay to say nigga, they're not saying it because it's a term of endearment. They're just saying, okay, I'm all right, I could be a part of this today, and then I'm going back. They never coming down here to make nothing good. They just want to be a part of it, have fun, and then get the fuck on. When all the shooting and shit get to start.
Isn't that what we all do?
Nah, hell nah. We do this shit because, nigga, the only reason why we can
go out from that, I'm talking about just in general. We all have something that we just do because we like it and then go back to our regular life. We have our guilty.
The only reason why black people go to where the white people is at is to get away from the black people. And then once we get away from the black people, we realize that was the wrong move.
But where do you go when you go to get away
from the
white
people? And figure out that was the wrong move.
You're not going just anywhere. You're going somewhere that you're going to have fun.
But the difference between the white people is they don't leave to go have fun. They leave. I mean, when the white people leave, they leave to go have fun. Then they come back home. We leave to get away from home. They come to our homes to have fun and then leave. We leave our home that we've been having fun at to get away from it because we know the only reason why we having fun, the only reason why we having these cookouts, the only reason why we having all these celebrations, 9 times out of 10, a lot of our gatherings is because somebody done died awake or some shit like that. So it's like it's a lot of. They looking at it like we kicking it because, nigga, we just having fun. A lot of times we trying to like get away from the stress, nigga. We kicking it, we drinking, we partying.
On vacations, you're not going to Disney World, you're not going to Vegas, you're not going to Miami to do nigga shit. You going when you do go, and it's even if you can't afford it, there's people that save up to do it because they want to get away and have fun the way white people do.
How many
white
people
can afford to go to white people can afford to go to Disney World?
You know why?
That's why we save our money to go to Disney World because we want to have fun like the white people do, and then we go away for a weekend or for a week and spend our little money that we saved up, our little tax check come in and shit, and then we go back home to our nigga shit. The same way they want to get away from suburban shit and come have fun in the fast life of the hood, and then go back to suburban shit. So we all have something that we do to get away from our everyday life.
Not fun, like that though. We save up again. It's easier for a motherfucking white person or Mexican person to come to our hoods, kick it on a lower level, because that's what we're gonna do, show love to everybody, than it is for us to get on a plane and go to Montana, go to the Caribbean, or go somewhere where they predominantly run the show and think that we're gonna get right. It is less videos of white people coming to our hoods and having issues than it is us going to their hoods and having issues. Every time we go, it's something wrong. Nigga, I come in my wife beater in my tennis shoes, I'm out of dress code, and you're telling me I'm out of dress code while another white boy is walking past me in the same outfit.
You know why that is?
Because I'm trying to go to your shit. I don't need to.
Nah, because we still in 2025 are still living by Willie Lynch laws.
Us as blacks.
Yep. We still have it. It's still ingrained in us from generations of being Mr. Bojangles and doing the song and dance for white people, that regardless of where we are as a people and as equal as we are legally and socially, it's still a part of us that still refuses to do anything to a white person, because that's how we was raised from slavery all the way up into 2025. We don't even realize it. We don't even realize it. And where I live at is niggas on one side of the street, white people on the other side of the street. We can be on our side of the street, in front of the curry, out in front of the liquor store, doing whatever we do. Let a white person walk past, and we gonna put on our, how you doing, sir? Why? They live here just like we live here. But subconsciously we have it in us subconsciously to be nice to white people, because white people still run shit. If you're not nice to white people, it's going to limit your chances of having what you want. You could take a motherfucker like LeBron James. Despite how much money LeBron James got, how much power he has, he still ain't got Genie Bus power. So he's still gonna song and dance like a motherfucker in front of Jenny Bus when she walk in the damn gym. Because a part of him as a black man knows subconsciously that if you do wrong to white people, you gonna get done even worse.
And that's sad.
Even a billionaire knows better than to talk shit to a white person. Even a billionaire black man.
That's the problem though. See, that's the problem with us, to sit here and knowingly say even we know better than to talk crazy to a white man, when we are listen. If we are, as black people, our culture, we spend trillions of dollars, at least $2 trillion every year. We spend the most money. They're not going to sit here and tell me that we can't look at a white man and say something about how we feel. But instead, we just continue to spend it, and then we get bamboozled. How China just showed us $3 J's now. We've been spending $400, sitting outside, missing work, all this other stupid ass shit for these shirts. To find out they're made by the same fucking machine with the same fucking fabric, and you telling me I ain't supposed to talk shit to this billionaire who done bamboozled me with a tag?
That's always been, man.
So then at this point, ain't no way you can say we know better. We only know better because we scared, and we've always been like that. The only difference that we did was we switched that "don't look at that white man" mentality to "don't question that white man." And if you look at it from a real microscopic angle, you will see that obviously the Bible, when we were slaves, was something that kept us in check, and it told us not to disrespect the white man. And now they done switched it from the slaves to don't disrespect the white man and questioning him. The same thing we weren't supposed to do with God. But we don't question God. We don't question the white man. I think you're freezing.
Yeah, I think he froze.
You froze out, Tim, if you're still there. If you can hear me.
Fuck with, charge my phone. You can hear me? My phone was going down. I'm trying to charge my phone.
We can hear you, but
trying to get on my charger before it goes dead.
Okay, we still can hear you, though. Kind of froze, but we still can hear you, though.
I had a quick question, man. If y'all could time travel, right? What would y'all do, man?
Can I take some with me?
I'm going first, though. If I could time travel, I'd give Nike to all the slaves, man. I just want to see them jump like gazelles, through the cotton field. I'd give Nikes running shoes. The slaves, man.
At first, I was like, that might
that's
be
good technology. You know what I mean? Them heavy ass boots.
Not only that though, if they got some light running shoes, they ain't got to worry about they could just run past the woods, all through the woods,
Oh,
just
them motherfuckers gone, man.
they'll be real athletic.
They'd be real athletic.
If I could go into the past, I probably would go. I could go with my knowledge I got now.
You can, of course, you can go.
I can take anything I want with me.
You can take anything you want with you.
I'm probably either about to go talk to Huey P. Newton or Malcolm X, and I will have to sit back and decide on those two. But I'm gonna let them two know, either one of them two know that if I might go back and holler at Malcolm X, and then since I'm already there, stop and holler at Huey P. But I'm gonna go let both of them know, like, whatever it is y'all about to do right now, they about to set y'all the fuck up.
You know what I would do, man? I would tell Martin Luther King, hey yo, tell Jesse to get a little closer to you.
Tell who?
Jesse Jackson.
Jess. Get a little closer, Jess.
Yeah, get a little close. Get in front of him.
As soon as I stepped out the way.
Get right in front of him.
To find out that he worked for the CIA is even more crazy.
Man, they've been doing this since the beginning of time, man. They did Fred Hampton like that. And I just feel like, man, we can always get bought. To stop our movement, we always can get bought. It don't cost nothing for somebody to get bought. That's why I love watching First 48.
That's the fucking scariest shit to know, though, right?
Motherfuckers get bought for a piece of chicken in a Newport, man, and get their skin reduced.
If that's not checkmate, bro, I don't know what checkmate is, because it's like you got us fucked up. So any one of y'all that y'all pick out of us is gonna be like, oh, $3 million. Like what?
That's why I watched that movie Queen and Slim, man. That shit brought tears to my eyes, man.
Queen and Spun?
Slim. I just finally watched it, Queen and Slim.
Queen and Slim?
Yeah, that shit was a sad movie, yo. And you know what I mean? If I can also go back in time, you know, it's just I'd rather like this how smart and together we were as the people back in the early 1900s. That shit would bring tears to your eyes, man. You know what I mean?
Nah. You said how smart?
No, how we came together.
How we came together back in the 90s?
No, the 1900s.
The 1900s.
Early 1900s, 50.
But I mean, I think about that because of my grandmother who was born in 1905, who then raised my grandmother that just passed last year, who also raised my mom. And I try and put these times together. It's like, okay, if my grandmother was born in 1905, that means whoever raised her had to be for sure in the 1900s, born in at the 1800s, right? Like 1890s, 1880s, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just 20 years away from 1865, where slavery was just abolished. So imagine raising a child 20 years after slavery and emancipation and proclamation, like in that time, and then the child that's being raised into born and raised before women's rights, and then the child that's being raised 20 years after women's rights, and it's just like all the way up through to Martin Luther King, and then my mom being born while Martin Luther King, Huey P. Newton being, you know what I'm saying, born through all that, and it's like that's psychological trauma just through my family. And I'm just thinking about my family. You know what I'm saying? Your grandmother, you feel me? Year she was born back early hundreds, and who she was raised by, and it's just like I know that my grandmother. My great grandmother, her grandparents was part of slave families for sure. We talked about these things all the time before she passed. And so I think that that's why when I hear like you was just saying, like when you think about that shit as well. I think I'm so invested into like the respect of our people that came before us, because it's like I look at them like our cousins. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that was my brother. You know what I'm saying? And then when you think about the breeding farms, like nigga, y'all is breeding this. So a lot of us is here. We family just cause niggas made our people fuck each other. Like, so it's just like there's a lot of psychological trauma. It's like imagine going back down your family tree and finding out that the only reason why you born is because this slave master and this slave master was cool and they made your parents or their parents, your ancestors' parents fuck. And that's why you here. Not because motherfuckers met up with each other and it was a love and my family been like this for years. And no, because niggas was breeding us. And now we here. We could literally be cousins, my nigga. Like literally, like I could be sitting here talking to you, bro, and you could be like my 15th cousin or some shit.
Yeah, that's why I really don't. Oh, the nigga said his battery died. That's cool. Yeah, man, I don't really. That shit is really deep when you think about this overall, this like slavery and all that shit, man. Because like I had a joke today. I said, yo, what I say? I said Babe Ruth was the first black player, right?
No. Was he?
This one I was just playing. I was trolling. I was trolling. I said, man, who get dropped off at 7 by their father to an orphanage? I don't want to raise you because I want to be a pimp. And you look at the nigga's nose. He got a nigga nose. But he probably was a white guy. But you can't not say that it's probably was some people with white features in the early 1900s that got away with being black, but were really looking like white guys.
With the house Negroes, they only kept the ones in the house. And they claim that Abraham Lincoln was black or had some black in him. The only thing I don't like about the whole Abraham Lincoln situation is that he didn't free us, and he would have kept the slavery if the Union could have won. But because the Union was getting their ass whooped, the only way that the Union would have won is if they freed the slaves, because the slaves would fight for them, and that would help them win, and then they would be pretty much fighting for their freedom. This is why I get mad at people for celebrating 1776 Independence Day, July 4th, because it's like, nigga, they was celebrating their independence. Nigga, they was raping our women, probably raping us. Ain't no telling what they was doing with us. I ain't even want to go through the list because we know they was feeding our babies to alligators or using our babies as alligator bait. Like, so it's like, ain't no telling what they was doing with us when they finally got their independence and we out here 4th of July it up. So unless we getting paid for that shit, fuck that shit, right? June 17th, but June 19th, however, whatever. June, nigga, whole month of June, nigga, whole year, niggas us. But yeah, it's fucked up, bro. And until we really realize, like, nigga, we only fucked up because they fucked us up, and it's not psychological. It's not education. It's not that we don't like each other. It's not that we hate each other. It's not that we stupid. It's not that we dumb. It's the whole fact that you bred us like fucking animals and then let us free when everybody came to their senses.
Good. And it's not even that. Like, I feel like we the only people cannot do throwback Thursdays about our trauma of our people. Every other race and group they get something from it of saying, man, I have trauma because my people, those people that threw up the hand open fist thing, them people still talk about that. But we can't talk about who's getting thrown and fucking hung and putting ham on our back, getting cooked and tarred and with feathers and shit like that. We can't talk about it. I don't understand that. Of one set of group can talk about their genocide of their people. We can't even go farther with Jim Jones in the early the early 70s was killing all them black people.
But it's chess though, right? because it's like you're right. We can't talk about it because when we talk about it, we look like we playing victim, right? It's like, oh, y'all crying and complaining. Y'all didn't even have to go through that. That was some ancestor shit. And so they're not looking at the overall, like I said, the breed and shit and all the bullshit that was going on. But I think that is the fact that they can't talk to us about it, right? They can talk amongst each other and talk about their clans and how their grandfathers, they can be proud boys, right? But when it comes to talking to us, the reason they can't talk about it is because we can talk about how we fought so hard to get away from y'all grandparents. It's like me coming to you talking to you about how fucked up your mom was, and you just sitting there listening to me. Even if you knew your mom was a fucked up person to me, and let's just say you and your mom had this loving ass relationship and y'all love each other to death and she always had your back. And I'm not saying she didn't, I'm just using this as an analogy. But let's just say she always did this and always been there for you and everything. But when it came to me, it was straight brutal. And so now that I'm finally free, I'm talking to you because you in position, to make a change. And I'm sitting here like, bro, you know what I went through. Nigga, your mama was fucked up, nigga. La, la, la. And you like, nigga, I'm not trying to hear all that shit about my mama, nigga. You don't go talk to your brother or your cousin about your mama and how good she was to you, but you ain't finna even sit here and have this conversation with me. You know what I'm saying?
But the crazy part is, man, that like you said, the Confederates versus the Yankees and the Civil War, that it was black people that loved the conditions they were in. They said, man, I'm gonna pick that Confederate flag. I'm gonna pick this bayonet up. I'm gonna fight arm with you because I don't want to lose it. And you look at this overall, the black man fought in every war, not by choice, because they was forced, because they had to keep enough count to fight the Germans, fight
or we needed front
line, the Desert Storm. You know what I mean? Fighting South America with what's the people in Honduras and Nicaragua. You know what I mean? You just name a war we was there. Line. And you look at these veterans, man, and just black, white, doesn't matter. They're struggling so much. There's a lot of them underneath bridges that don't get the proper help. You know what I mean? So it's crazy how they get treated. I feel like teachers and veterans get treated the worst in America. Too, job wise, you know what I mean? Because a lot of them can only get fit so many people in the
VA. That's a fact. And especially out here, the VA going so crazy, it's like, man, why are we not respecting them more for putting their lives on the line? But then when you realize, like, nigga, none of our leaders go front line. They just get mad at another motherfucker that run a whole nother country and then send our brothers and sisters and children out there to fight for them. And it's just like, when will any of us wake up? I was just looking at that whole Metcalf and, Carmelo Anthony situation. And I'm just like, at this point, media is trying to divide us because even the proud white boys who trying to stand up for a white boy that was murdered by a black boy, even the father of the white boy that was murdered is like, bro, I'm not dealing with y'all. Like, this ain't about that, nigga. My son was murdered. I'm not trying to hear what you talking about with this white people shit. Take my son off of y'all shit. I'm not with that. And this is a white man talking. And in my eyes, it's like, bro, we so fucking divided just in America alone, bro, but even in the world. And then when you start to open up your resources and look at what's going on and start watching world news and what they be talking about, bro, they shit ain't even that bad. We just so much of rule breakers and feel like we can live how we want and land of the free that we think that spitting on the road and going to jail for it is bullshit. Why are you spitting on the road, nigga? What the fuck? Let's just start there. Like, why are you throwing your chip bag on the road any fucking way? Like, why are you pissing in the back alley anyways? Why are you doing that? Like, and I get it if it's nature, but nigga, this ain't nature. There's trees on the street or some shit like that. Whatever the case may be. And then you're not even gonna clean up after yourself. You're gonna expect somebody to clean up for you. Like, and so it's just like a lot of these other worlds, they just live by the rules and they born into the rules and they follow the rules and they just live peacefully. And then you got America coming over like, y'all gotta be like we want y'all to be. You know, you don't have to just because you was born this way don't have to mean that you have to be this way. You know, we
And
give
that's why I said, man, America, you can be anything you want in America.
anything.
You can be a Power Ranger. You can be anything you want to
A
be.
transformer, you can be a motherfucking
You
Mickey
can be
Mouse.
you can be Peter Pan you want to. You can identify yourself as 88-year-old Peter Pan. And they will put that on your license, Peter Pan.
And you know what? I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you, bro. Any of that shit, if y'all want to let motherfuckers walk around here and be make believe and all that, man, with anything, that's cool. I don't have a problem with it, but does it benefit everybody else? That's the thing. Like, how does it benefit the people economically? Like, I get it. A motherfucker is buying a jersey, so many goddamn jerseys that you feel like you got to get them off a percentage, and everybody ain't walking around here buying doctors' jerseys. But I also feel like the salary of a doctor should be higher than a lot of people. Like, motherfuckers should be striving to be doctors over basketball players. You know what I'm saying? Or football players and shit. Like, the
You know
money that you
what?
should be making off of being a doctor and shit. I mean, first off, that shit should be free.
You know why people don't want to be doctors? Because it takes so long, and them smart niggas don't get no pussy.
I say that's a lie.
I'm saying urbanly, you too smart in the hood, they gonna pick on you.
They don't need that. All the ratchet hoes is RNs and nurses. If you a doctor, you got first dibs on all the RNs. I done already heard the stories.
I
You a nurse,
understand
nigga.
that.
You second
But
in line after the doctors.
a nigga with a book, they gonna start laughing at you because a lot of
Unless,
niggas don't want to read.
unless you're in that hospital, them hospital nurses, bro. I'm telling you, they've been doing this shit for years.
They just see. That's why I'm saying they see LeBron James dunking the ball. They see Michael Jordan. They see Kobe. I'm gonna pick the ball up. I can go straight from high school. I go overseas, get this bacon. That's how niggas look. We don't got no long term goals or goals or see that long game that a doctor is gonna make great money. You don't gotta, you know what I mean? They're gonna give you grants to your minority in most cases. You know what I mean? If you're really smart and gifted, you can get a full ride if you're really smart and gifted.
But that's where you bring in, what was the word I'm looking for? Like, that's where you bring in like the Bible, religion, because everybody ain't gonna make it, right? Like,
Not everybody make it to be athlete. I try to be, man. I got 2 left feet. Like I knew my career wasn't going nowhere.
This nigga, it ain't about your career though. What I'm saying is, it's like
Playing sports, I knew I was not good enough to make.
It's not even that though. Like what I'm saying, okay, so religion wise, it's more like out of so many people, only like 200, 300,000 people gonna make it to heaven, right? So it's a billion people, but only 300,000 of us supposed to make it, 500,000, some shit like that. You go look into the history of some like rocks that they had down in Georgia, and it said to keep the world at 500,000 people or 500 million people or something like that. And we well over that. Like, you just look into these things and you realize that so many people not gonna make it. And it's like, okay, so the ones that's willing to be on the shit that you want, that's all you're really looking for, man. You get out of 40 million, 50 million black people in America, 30,000 of them. That's like 199th or some shit of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? 30,000 black people is enough to start some shit. And I guarantee you the rest of them are venture in or venture out, but you're not worried about them. They're not going. And that's the problem. All of them, they can go out there and do what they do, but if we can't focus on what's forehand and that niggas is just out here to dog us, you can't get 30,000 people that realize that to go ahead and make something happen together, then we really fuck. But we need to stop looking at all 50 million black people supposed to just be a part of the movement, because it's not gonna happen. It's ones that's gonna Uncle Tom you to death. It's ones that's gonna snake you. It's ones that's gonna hate. You're not looking for all of them. All niggas ain't gonna make it. Fuck them niggas. And the only problem with that, with the 30,000 is the 30,000 got to understand that includes your cousin. That includes your brother. Just because whatever mind you on, you got to be on the same mind as the 30,000 people. And you cannot let oh, my cousin got to be in. I know he wild and crazy or she wild and nuts, but I ain't coming unless she coming, because then you can't be a part of that 30,000 either. You feel me? Your mama, your grandma, if they coming in, nigga, and they finna be a cancer to this shit, nigga, and fuck up everything. Because what is that? One link fucks up the whole chain, right? So it's like you can bring that in, nigga, and you fuck up everything. Then what's the point? Like, nigga, your grandma can't come, nigga. If she ain't on what we on. And once we get there, then we'll start, because what ends up happening is you start birthing that, right? We got a whole community of motherfuckers that live just like this. And then you grow from there. It may take 20, 30, 40 years, like 100 years, 200 years, but you grow from that. You don't grow from the other 50,000, because that shit is chaining. You feel me? You don't bring that shit in. You don't bring the BBLs in. You don't bring the drugs in. Like, and if it is, it's to help, right? If I'm bringing some cocaine in, it's to put on your sore or something. I think that's what they said the coca leaves was good for, like putting on your sore to calm the pain. Now motherfuckers using it to get high. So if I'm bringing coca leaves in, it's for your wound. I'm not bringing coke in and sell it on the streets and be the dope boy.
You know what I mean? And that's another thing, man. I tell a lot of people, man, it's about, and it's something about us with generational curse, and a lot of people don't understand your name as a man holds a lot of weight. Your kids get the burden of your name, right? So if Boom is known for pushing niggas' TV, turning niggas' TVs off, and he have a young son, niggas gonna be like, yo, you know, Boom, little Boom is, you know who his dad is? And now that little nigga thinks he gotta turn niggas' TVs off. So we gotta reinvent ourselves and change the narrative of our names for our seeds, so they don't have to live that path. You know what I mean? Go that path.
Man,
I think that's important, and that's why I'm so glad. You know what I mean? At first, when I found out I'm having another daughter, I was disappointed. I'm like, yeah. But yeah, when I really think about it, man, that's a blessing. I don't gotta worry about her living out my nut ass crash up days. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. That's a fact, brother.
And I think that's the one thing a problem is, man, that them boys look up to that dumb shit. They love that dumb shit because of the music, and niggas just they love the.
It's just an easy way.
I say this every day too, man. The streets recruit a new nigga every day, the young boy every day.
Because they make it look easy. They make it sound easy. They don't tell you the depths. It's like when you tell a motherfucker to take a pill because it make you horny. But then they don't, that when they tell you the fine print, it's like side effects. Sleepy eyes, but the whole show is just slow. Like this thing can make you horny. You go all night, you're smacking the cheeks, you can do this, that, and the other, and they clarifying all that. But the side effects, call 1-800-338 now.
That's why I don't believe we ever been to space.
Nah, they CGI that shit. They also have the
You know
fake
why?
females.
You know why I don't think they never been to space. You know how beautiful they could make niggas go, send niggas up to space to clean up the space. I believe they would put niggas up there in the astro. You know what I mean? One of them rockets to send niggas to clean up, or put niggas on prison up there on space.
No, they got a job right now talking about some $3 million to clean up space.
You know what I mean? The least will already want to be up there. If that shit was really like that, you know, all the rich niggas it'd be Calabasas up there on the fucking moon, nigga.
No, for sure. That shit'll be funny as hell. Nah, they might have went to space though, man. I don't know, man. I seen the whole CGI shit, man. I don't know. I ain't got no rocket.
I don't know. Nigga, I don't got the nigga drive a Chevy Equinox, so ain't no way I'm going to space, nigga.
Right? I'm gonna traverse.
So man, so how's the podcast going, man?
Man, I just got done doing the show. And You know, it's actually doing a little better than what I expected. Um, I think that I just need to put a little bit more effort into it than what I'm doing, but it's going well though, man. I'm getting some responses, I'm getting some engagement, so I'm thankful for that because that's what I'm looking for, like people who into what I'm into. And when I first started this shit, I'm like, man, I just be talking weird, and everybody already said I be talking weird and la la la. But when I took it to the internet, I found out that if I am talking weird, then there's a lot of weird people just like me. So it's really helping more than anything. I use this shit as therapy, to be able to connect with people, ask questions regardless of what their responses are going to be. I want the answers. And so it's going swell, man. It's going swell.
That's
What,
good.
what made you, what bring you back though, man? You took a break, man. We back now, huh?
I saw that motherfucker payment come out of the bank. I said, I might as well get back and talk about something.
See, I ain't even set myself up for monetization yet, man.
No. I'm talking about the all the shit I bought. I got StreamYard. That shit comes out every month. So, I might as well put an episode out about something.
So I done paid for this shit. I might as well throw an episode up.
I might as well throw something up. You know what I mean? So I started small. The one episode I got where I talked about when I talk about quitting podcasting because not podcasting, quitting stand-up comedy. Got a lot of comments and people. It's good to see people that are your peers in the shit. Like, it's all a part of the grind, man. Keep up with it, man. Niggas don't gotta do that. So,
I still don't get why you don't just promote your podcast during your stand-ups.
What you mean?
Double whammy, nigga.
What you mean double whammy?
Nigga, first off, nigga, all right, nigga, that's my show, but don't forget to follow me on Rod and Sister Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Where I'll be talking and we can connect if y'all got questions and all that. Like, I'll be promoting the fuck out of my show.
Yeah. I started doing that on the fuck I started doing that. That's why I started having these comedians on here. I've been getting a lot of clicks off of having comedians on my podcast.
Then you also need to start, like, if you know you're gonna be on the show, live stand up or not, you need to start promoting it yourself. Like, all right, I know that they're gonna either let me in for free or I'm signed up for a show on Friday. So let me make post saying that I'm gonna be here Friday. Like, you know what I'm saying? Call them and let you know, hey, I'll be there. I know it's free, so just let me be on the sign on the paper already. Or if you gotta be there, you know you're gonna be there early. However it go, nigga, I'll be promoting that shit. Then when I get on stage, like, nigga, fuck, you can't tell me I ain't no star regardless if I get 1 viewer or 0. I'm a star, nigga. Until you show me I'm not, I'm a star. And that's how you should show it, bro. Like, for real, because it's not that you don't have content. It's not that you're not funny. You just ain't seen yet. So when they see you, they need to see a star. Simple. Well, that motherfucking A&R clicking in your shit and they the only viewer and you sitting there looking like you ain't shit. You ain't even really feeling it. Nah, fuck that. I don't care if I got 0 viewers, nigga. I'm right here telling the funniest jokes. And even if you go look at my shit from 3-4 weeks ago, 3 months ago, 3 years ago, nigga, you're going to see the star with the funniest joke. Think about it though. I mean, like, what's the difference? Like, we all don't look at this shit from a microscopic view, bro. Like, niggas make music 2 years ago that popped today. What can't you tell a joke 2 years ago that popped today?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's all it is, man. A lot of niggas you cannot that's one thing about comedy, man.
A nigga steal your joke. Next thing you know, it ain't joke no more.
It's not even that nigga steal your joke. Everybody got the same. There's nothing you can really talk about that hasn't been talked about. So you gotta really just figure ways to make something new about it. Everybody been through a divorce. Everybody got cheated on by a hoe. So it's not everybody been to school with a struggle with school. So shit happens, man. So shit happens, man. But again, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Nah, I mean, like, I thought we was gonna go a little longer, maybe 10, 15 more minutes.
Oh, okay, go ahead. If you got something else,
No, you're right though. I was just saying, like kids definitely attached to things, and so we do have to change our ways. Maybe just even back to our conversation with the whole how we got here and why we in this position, and how we are messed up psychologically, just in all walks of life, bro. Like even with religion, it's like, damn, as we going at the right God, am I supposed to be watching this or listening to that? Should I be doing this or doing that? But it's all right here in your face every time you turn around, like, and it's like you're down there thinking you're in hell. Like, shit, am I in hell already, nigga? Because it's like all this shit that's going on ain't supposed to be happening. And
you never know, man. I think we all gonna find out when it's the end. When you got your last blanket, you see what you want to see. Take your last grass of air. You're like, damn, I'm about to go to hell.
you know what my biggest fear is? Either reincarnating and not remembering I was here before, doing the same shit over again because I'm thinking that I gotta go to heaven, or there to be nothing, no heaven or hell, and I just didn't live how I should have wanted to, and it got that way. It's like doing this because I had a respect and love for my higher power. That is not. Like, what if all this should be over? You'd be like, hold on.
Yeah, man. That shit deep.
This is a conscious. Like, what if you just get there? Like, so it's like that's what scares me. But for the most part, the only reason why I never give up on my faith in the Lord, man, is because there's nothing else that makes more sense. No Big Bang Theory. It's like all this shit that goes on, from the way that this grass works, from the way that the birds fly, to the fish in the ocean, to the way that we have to eat. I mean, like, what the fuck is this? Like, let me ask you for real. You're gonna say, oh, that's your thumb, and these are your fingers, and then you can name them. It's your index finger, your middle finger, your ring finger, your pinky. You're gonna do all that, like, because we named these shits. But let's just be fucking real. Who the fuck was like, you're gonna need 5 fingers to be able to grab and be able to put tools together and shit. You're gonna need to taste what an apple tastes like or orange tastes like. Like, you know what I'm saying? Can't nobody fucking do no shit like that but a higher power, bro. So shout out to God. You feel me? Until I find out that it's something else, shout out to God.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? And that's why I tell everybody, man. I tell my kids, be you. Be you. And try your best, man, because this life is hard. Why don't you try your best? I'm happy with that.
Why is it hard though? Pause. Why is the life hard?
Because there's a lot of psychological warfare them kids go against,
And that's
every
the
day.
problem. Society makes it, right?
It's society, and we didn't
Remove
have
society. Remove society. What if we remove society? We remove colors, we remove mathematics, we remove history, social studies, and we just put this shit in a nature form, and we say, hunt. You're born, take care of your family, hunt for your food, you protect your family. That's it. Ain't no LeBron James, Michael Jordan, ain't no computer, ain't no iPhone. It's just whatever woman you didn't had sex with, y'all kids, however many y'all had, and surviving. Do we talk about depression?
I don't know, man.
You born into a family. Your older brother has been hunting since he's 11 years old with your father. You born now, it's your turn to come up on hunting. Your older brother telling you stories about how he had to kill a deer or a lion or a snake or some shit like that. You learning all these things as you coming up. We ain't talking about LeBron James. We ain't talking about the best Gucci shoes. We ain't talking about the newest iPhones. We just talking about the hunts that I went on, the funds that we have when we ain't hunting, the things that we do to pass time, climb trees, whatever the case may be. I don't know. Swim, I don't fucking know. At the end of the day, you remove everything that is not nature. And what is that? Cooking. Cooking is not nature. We didn't start off cooking. So a stove is not natural. You know what I'm saying? Basketball, football, boxing, hockey, certain clothes. We use leaves and shit to make
That's why I always said this, man. A woman, how can a woman be an alpha female when a man dresses her?
Because they that's the whoever wins the war tells the story, right? But we do our history and we know like the Huey P. Newtons and the Fred Hamptons.
I'm saying this as a thing. The most men make purses. They make the clothes. It's a lot of men designers for
Nah,
their dresses. It
I
is
just
a lot of them.
from the door that's just open with this Chinese and U.S. tariff situation shit that they got going on, bro. I'm starting to see more Chinese companies. A lot of those men just walking around telling us about the shit they got on sale. It's a lot more women factory workers in the back. They proven the point that they got their women in check over there, like in China.
I'm saying the draw the design out. Like Versace, he drew that design out.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying. Them
You don't
purses
think
are
a woman
worth.
had nothing to do with that?
Well, man, we know what looks good on women. You know what you like want your woman to wear.
I get that.
So you think about it, it makes
We in the
sense.
time of that Me Too shit, though. We in the time of the woman's rights, the stand for women. You know what I'm saying? All this shit, everything that's really going on right now is because of women. Let's just be real.
I agree with that, and I feel like the woman could be heaven or hell.
Can be who?
It could a woman in your life could be either heaven or hell if you don't choose the right one. So that's the trigger part of knowing. I feel like every man should. I know this sounds crazy. What I know now, I wish I got a vasectomy. If I had a time machine, I would have a vasectomy done,
Silly. No,
and
bro.
I would kept all my semen in the freezer, so I could pick and choose who I want to give a baby to.
But that you already had that option without a vasectomy. That just say you can't control who you fuck. You just be wanting to fuck without a condom, and then
You
you
know what I
let
mean?
your baby.
I was giving out 250 like coupons.
So you can't blame the women for that, nigga. That's crazy.
I'm just saying I could have picked and
I blame
choose.
yourself,
I had to
bro.
drive to the storage unit and let me get a couple of that semen of
But
mine.
what if she don't want to be your baby mama though? See? So now you
It's a
just
lot.
wasted a whole cup. You got to take it back. You
You know
got
what I
to drop
mean?
it back off. That was the wrong one.
I'd be like, yo, let me scoop it out of you.
This nigga silly. See, that's
Put
what
it
I'm
back in the
saying.
tube.
No, but I only blame women because women have a lot of the power. Like most of us, we don't. I'm not coming outside and getting fresh for you. Now, if I get fresh for you, it'll be like in a situation like this. Like, all right, my nigga about to have a show. He having somebody on. He want me to, wear a certain style or something like that. So I'm throwing this offer for my nigga so I can look according to the show. But as far as just like, oh, I'm finna get refreshed because Rod gonna be telling me how nice I look. No, I don't care how you feel, how I look. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out here walking around worried about how any man feels how I look. I'm doing this for how, either myself or if I walk into the right woman, I want to be looking decent enough to, approach her. And so most of the time, the women have that power alone, like over us men. And they can start there. And it's like, but they come with the you want me, so do for me situation. They don't know how to control that power that they have over us. Because most of us men, nigga, if we feel loyal, if you show us love and loyalty, most of us crumble. We turn into bitches like to a woman that show us love and loyalty, we turn into straight whole ass niggas outside of the relationship. We will kill and destroy and pick up a motherfucking mountain. Inside that relationship, that woman will run us because we don't mind it. Because nigga, she's showing we know she got our back. We know she loves us. We know she loyal to us. But nigga, if she is motherfucking ratchet out, you gonna nigga fuck that bitch. La la la. We ain't caring. Or some niggas might change. But what I do know is that if a woman show you love and loyalty to a man, most of the time he gonna shut the fuck up. Most of the time. But if a nigga don't feel like she loyal or gonna love him like how he want, or got to do what she say, and I don't think that's she know her power because like, all right, well, if this nigga gonna do what I say, and I know I could just be love and loyal to this nigga, then let me be love and loyal to this nigga while making him build the bridge that I want. They don't think like that. They just like build me the bridge, nigga. If you don't, another nigga will. Like what?
Yeah, man, and that's why I said,
And
man,
that's the problem.
that's the big problem, man. It's hard to pick them, man. That's the happy battle, picking a good one and knowing if she's gonna be really good or not. Because
It's hard to
it's a
keep our
lot
dick
of
in our pants.
it's hard on that point, and it's hard to find out. It's a lot of women and men put a facade up in the beginning because you got something. It benefits them. You know what I mean? That's a human nature of people seeing what kind of benefit they give you, and it's not really about love. That's the crazy, scary part about being a man or a human being in general. Is this person really love me or this is fake love? Because if it was real love, if I made you angry, you shouldn't have to go suck a dick because I made you angry because I didn't wash the dishes.
But if you have to go suck your dick, it was never real love, anyways. And it's
Exactly.
But a lot of
So
men don't look at that contingency plan in their life. A lot of men just go head over heels. I don't care how much I love you. Cain killed Abel. No, brother, they killed me. So at the end of the day, I'm not putting my trust in nobody, no matter how much I love them, because we all got our own brains. The only people that's connected is Siamese twins, right? And not even like conjoined twins, right? Those are the only people that has to move accordingly to what the other one is doing, and they have to figure it out together regardless. Other than that, like nigga, none of us, we all have our own brain. And regardless, if I tell you I love you, I could really be sitting here plotting to take your fans. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you never know what a motherfucker thinking just because you cool with them. And that's my problem when I move on this planet, because the motherfucker will put you in position to benefit them, and it's gonna fuck you without you even knowing. Pause. Like I've seen it happen, I've watched it happen. We even know motherfucking females who get married to these athletes or entertainers just for the money.
that's why I looked at that Ant-Man situation and I was like, damn, this broad really risked her life. There's a lot of women risk their life trying to get pregnant by these artists, these NBA players. Like you don't know if this nigga got AIDS, you don't know what he got, but you saying fuck it.
I mean, he in the
This nigga
NBA,
got
he
it.
testing and shit. He good.
But I'm just saying he could have had herpes. You can still
He in
take your
the
life.
NBA, he still got tested. He good.
But you know what I mean? But it could be
Dodging
on
jump on the
it
shit.
could be on a smaller scale of the nigga got he moves packs.
Right.
Oh, this nigga got the Beamer. This nigga got the Lex. This
I
nigga
put my
got
risk of my life for
Escalade.
all that.
This nigga got like 50,000 in the safe. Like, boo, don't risk your life for it. But there's a lot of people that do dumb shit like that. You know what I mean? And that'd be the scariest part, man. Especially women, man. You let anybody, the nigga say you're cute, he gonna take care of you. Don't let that nigga hit you raw, man. You never know. It might be that venom. That nigga might be venom. Man.
Silly.
You
Well,
gotta
look,
value your body both ways. You gotta value your body both ways, men and women.
man.
Go ahead.
I do want to thank you for having me on your show, bro, man. You know you got to come on the show. Pause. Sunday podcast lit 9 p.m. Eastern, man. Is we doing this more often, man? You doing this
Oh,
more often?
yeah, I already got some shit scheduled up, man. I'm just getting back, get back to the shit. I got a show tomorrow, man. Please come check me out tomorrow. I got a comedian from I think he said he's from Bowie, Maryland. He's gonna be talking about how to promote yourself as a comedian. So
I'll
I'm
be in
trying
the
to get, huh?
I'll be in the comments for sure.
Yeah, that's at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Oh,
So it's so I'm just trying to get like some people that got some experience in the game to give out the information for people who want to pursue, you know what I mean, just pursue comedy so we can get the information because there's a lot of people gatekeeping about information. So if I can get some nuggets out to the universe or people on social media, they're gonna eventually because people have the ideas of everybody saw their favorite comedian, like, man, I want to go try to do that. So I think it's gonna be educational how I'm doing it. But again, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's
No, for
11:50.
sure.
It's 11:58. I know I got my son tomorrow, and 'cause my wife work tomorrow. Everybody's on spring break, so.
All right, buddy. Well, shit, man. You know I'm always here if you need me, man. Thank you
All
for
right,
having me on
man.
the show, man.
All right, man. Take care, man. Have a good
You
night.
too, brother. Good night.